Write the scripture, beat down. If you wanna fight, see what we building here, not call this a construction site. Here's
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good to see everybody here. We're gonna do a little quick summary lesson of, we know that the festivities going on in the city right now. Most of us knows it as Caribana, but everybody knows it as Carnival. We're going to see the origins of this and where it actually came from. We know a lot of our people are actually downtown right now celebrating this and parading amongst all these spirits that are down there. So we're going to go into the origin of where it comes from, which this is a Roman tradition that was actually from Babylon, that went into Sodom, that went into Egypt, that went into Greek, that went into the Romans, now came into us, our culture, through slave trade, where we start adopting the slave masters' traditions and stuff. So one of the things that is emerged in this is something called Bacchanal, Bacchanales. We're gonna go into the origin of what is Bacchanal, because a lot of people there's even songs out right now where we're promoting that they're Bacchanales.
Everybody watch this. Bacchanales. Bacchanales.
The spirit of Bacchanal and Dionysus, which is a Greek goddess. Okay, these carnivals, they're nothing more than Roman orgies passed down through slavery. And nowadays people can't see that these are orgies because they're no longer, everyone's just outside naked and mingling with each other. They have on as little clothes as possible, so people don't understand that. But it's the same thing, it's just you can say dry humping each other outside in the public, and wearing the masquerade masks, where back then they wore the masks to hide their appearance so no one would know it was them, because some places it was a shame to know that you would go around like that. So the masks were to hide their appearance, and also some say to ward off evil spirits. So we know that they're not warding off anything, because that's all they're dealing with is evil spirits. And it includes a lot of alcohol too. They'll drink a lot of wine. So we're going to who is the goddess Dionysus. The Maids were drunken female followers of Dionysus, the god of wine and divine madness. The term Bacchanal or Bacchanalia essentially means divine orgy. So even the word, you could go look it up in the encyclopedia or whatever, it means divine orgy. And comes from the name Bacchus, the Roman version of Dionysus. So technically the Greek versions of these orgies weren't called Bacchanal back then. They were instead referred to as Dionysian mysteries. The Dionysian mysteries were holy rituals which used various intoxicants and other trance-inducing techniques such as dancing, music, and sex to remove inhibitions and break down artificial social constraints, thus liberating the followers of Dionysus, allowing them to return to a more primitive, natural, blissful state of consciousness. So we're going to what is Bacchanal. The secret rites of Bacchanal festival celebrating Bacchus goes back as far as 1400 BCE. In record history, and probably before, the Bacchanalia or Dionysia were initially attended only by women, and later men were permitted to join. What started as a celebration 3 days a year became weekly. So right now we can see that it's still 3 days. We're in the first day, we're in the second day. This starts on Friday, goes to Saturday, then Sunday, then Monday. Everyone's leaving, but they have a little get-togethers and barbecues. And the women abandoned their families and took to the hills to perform their festive rites. Where we see a lot of women, they're leaving their families right now. They're packing up the kids, telling parents take care. They're gonna go and deal with these rituals downtown, which is this dancing. And they dance to flute and drum, dressed in skins and leaves, while under God's inspiration. They were believed to possess occultic powers. The celebrations had a bad reputation for orgies that by 186 BCE, they were outlawed in Rome, but they were still practiced in secret for more than 700 years. They're still in practicing in secret today because nobody knows that this is what they're actually doing. They're just doing it thinking it's traditional. Bacchanalia had always been the most popular festival practiced by the peasants and was incorporated into the pre-Lenten carnival. The noise and music were originally to drive harmful spirits away. The mask and the masquerade were to transform the bearers into supernatural beings. So these masks also, they're transforming themselves into demonic spirits. Because they all have the little dragon-looking stuff. These are what spirits look like. And ceremonial fire and various individual abstentions were to ensure the success of magic act. All of these elements were carried over into the carnival along with the drunken orgies for which Bacchanalia was famous for. Carnival has always been a standard celebration in Roman Catholic countries, but how did it take Jamaica and these other countries? They were once the University of the West Indies were opened in 1948, the crossover of cultures began, and this is how we start to get these things in our islands today that we're celebrating. So that's just a little breakdown of the carnival that's going on today. Downtown, what we call Caribana, the world calls them carnivals.
These things are happening all over the world in different times and
different places. The Romans and the Europeans, they celebrate it earlier in the year, like bright and early. We get it at the end of the year. They're done celebrating and we're celebrating.